Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add color to your chair collage and show you some other kind of cool techniques to change the effects on it. So first thing I got to do is just open Adobe Photoshop Elements. Once I've done that, I'm going to go up to File and I'm going to click Open. And I'm going to go find my file that I'm going to work with today. And so if I have all of my collage pieces layered in there, what I can start to do is add some color to this. So the way to do that is to decide where I want to try adding some color. I'm going to click on the chair and use my magic wand again. I'll try it right here. So I'm going to do the bottom of the chair. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to now add a new layer. This is a blank layer. Notice that I click this button right here. It kind of looks like a post-it that has like the corner turned. If I roll over it, it says create a new layer. And when I did that, it added a new layer. I'm going to drag this below the chair layer. And now I'm going to decide on a color that I want to use by clicking on this square over here. I want you to really think about the colors you use here. I want you to use either complementary colors, so blue and orange, purple and yellow, red and green, analogous colors, which are three colors next to each other on the color wheel. So for instance, you might use red, red, orange, and orange. Or monochromatic, which is one color that's just lights and darks of it. So if I do blue here, I'm going to select that. What I'm going to now do is use my paint bucket to fill in this area. Notice I'm on my blank layer. So I filled it in, and you'll notice it has covered the texture, which is not necessarily what I want. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the marching ants on my screen by hitting Command D, as in deselect. And then now I'm going to change layer 22. I'm going to go up to where it says normal on my layers here, and I'm going to try different blending modes. So notice what happened. Now I can see through the color to the texture below. So I can try different ones. Each of these blending modes will do something different. Wow, that's kind of cool. The color burn, I like that. Some of them will work better than others. I really like that because what that does is it makes the lines, instead of black, they're now blue. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go with that one. Let me show you how this can work if I do it on another area. So I'm going to go back to the chair layer. I'm going to click my magic wand and I'm going to select this part of the chair, which is the darker part right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a brand new layer by clicking on Create New Layer here on the bottom of the Layers palette. And I'm going to drag it below the chair. This time I'm going to pick a darker blue. Decided I'm going to do something monochromatic, so it's going to stay just in the blues, but dark and light blues. So I painted that, and then I can Command D as in dog, or in deselect to get rid of the marching ants. And now what I'm going to do is once again go up here and I'm going to try lighten. And notice that it's still creating this effect of dark and light here. And so this really is an effective way to add some color to your picture. One other really effective technique to change the lights and darks in your image is to use something called a layer mask. A layer mask is going to allow you to create an effect where there's like basically taking whatever's on that layer and making it transparent on one side and completely opaque on the other side. So let's take the seat as an example. I'm going to find the layer that has this seat texture on it. It's kind of hard to see sometimes. There it is, layer 4, and I can quickly turn it off and on just to see. Fantastic. So now what I'm going to do once I've clicked on that layer is I'm going to go again to the bottom of my layers right here. Next to the new layer button, there's this one that's like a rectangle with a circle in the middle. If you roll over it, it says add layer mask, and that's what we are doing. We're creating a mask. So we're going to click on that and it creates this white box. What I want to do now is go over to my toolbar and I want to select the gradient tool. It's right next to the paint bucket. It's sort of like yellow blending to blue. Gradients are colors that blend smoothly one to another. I want it to be a black and white gradient. Oops. I want it to be a black and white gradient, so that's how the layer mask works. And the way the tool works is I can click anywhere, see that little crosshair there, and I can click and drag. And notice what it's doing. It's actually, anything that's in the black area is now becoming transparent, and anything in the white area is staying opaque. So it's sort of transitioning this particular pattern from almost no pattern to full pattern. And you can really play with this. I'm going to Command Z that for a moment, show you what it looks like if I do a shorter one. So if I make the line shorter, it's a much quicker transition. If I make it really long, like if I draw like that, see how it's a really gradual transition. You can also play around with the gradient to make it, like play around with grays, so I can go up to edit and I can double click right here on the color and I can make it, instead of black, which makes it completely transparent, I can make it dark gray, and I can make this one instead of white, which make it completely opaque, I'm going to make it light gray. So we'll get more of a transit, like a more gradual change that way. Now I'm going to try it. So you'll see there's not as much change this way. I'm going to try that one more time, stretch it out. So I'm getting a bit of a better transition there. One thing you might notice is that when I'm applying this layer mask, it's actually making transparent the pattern but not the color. So depending on what you want to do, you might want to actually merge the layers, the color layer with the pattern layer. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm actually going to delete this layer mask. All I did was right click on the layer mask and I'm going to click delete. So it goes back to normal. I'm going to go up to the top here and find the layer 23 that has the color on it. And what I'm going to do is drop it just above layer 4, which has the pattern on it for these two. And you can see that if I hide these. So if I wanted to merge these, all I have to do is click up on this. There's like this little menu button right here at the corner. Click on that and I'm going to say merge down. Notice the shortcut is Command E. So when I merged it down, what it did was it took the blue and the pattern and made it one layer. So now it's all one piece like that. So watch now if I do a layer mask, what happens. So now it's transitioning from light to dark, but you're actually getting white instead of the blue. So that's a different effect if you want to do that. Totally up to you. I could also transition it this way, top to bottom. I forgot to mention that. So if I wanted to make it look like it was lighter on the top and darker on the bottom, I could do it that way too. So there's a lot of options here, and what I want you to do once again, so what I want you to do in terms of color, notice I have a color wheel here, is you can do one of a couple of combinations here. You can do analogous colors. Notice that it's 3 or 4 colors next to each other on the color wheel, so red, red, orange, orange, yellow, orange, orange, red. So you can do that one. You can also do a complementary pair, circling this one. So you've got colors opposite of each other on the color wheel, so purple and yellow, blue and orange, and red and green. And then you can also do a monochromatic color palette, which would be to select one color and then add white or black to it. So those are your 3 options right now in terms of color for this particular project. If you have any questions, let me know.